Alright guys, so today we're going over my turkey setup, specifically my vest and decoys. So right now I'm running the Alps Grand Slam, and this is a phenomenal vest as far as the seat. It's my favorite part and the big reason I got it. Has this tripod that has fully adjustable legs, and I found that using this last year I almost enjoyed using this more than I did leaning up against a tree, just because you're able to get more cover as far as brush or briars and sit down in a comfortable position that has you with optimal cover versus sitting against a tree that has roots and rocks all around it. Not only does it have that, it has a nice thick seat to it. The back side of this seat, the bottom side, has a real thick plate so that you're not going to have any sticks or rocks poke through it. It also has magnets that I was a little concerned about, but I found that there's really no issue. It may come undone if you're walking through some thick stuff, but as far as just out and about, walking through the woods, once you get those up there, it stays hooked. Now I will usually start my hunt off with it strapped in, but normally I don't restrap it. The only issue I had with it was I wish these buckles were reversed, where you had the strap on this side so that you could pull it to you versus trying to find the buckle. It's got a nice big area back here for decoys if that's how you want to carry them. I don't personally carry mine like that. Usually I leave this area to throw in a jacket once I get hot. You know, I'll take it off, throw it in there, or even if you kill a turkey, you're able to throw it in there. I do have a spare decoy stake just because it's one of those things that you always lose, and I like to have a couple on me in case that situation dictates. Since we're on the back here, I'll also go through, I do keep a Camelback in the back so that I have water at all times and have a large amount, and it doesn't make the noises carrying a Nalgene does. I like having the Nalgene, but I like having the Camelback not make as much noise. On the inside of the back, it's got nice thick padding right here, specifically on your shoulders and lower back, so that when you're using that tripod type setup, you've got good comfort right here. And even leaning against a tree, it just keeps all those knobs and bark of the tree from aggravating your back, especially for those long sits when you can't move. On the inside, it's got some pockets as well. I got some DEET right here. Also keep a spare set of gloves. Again, turkey hunting, it's all about having spares in my opinion, because you can't take that chance of setting your gloves down, setting your face mask down, and then all of a sudden you don't have that with you and a turkey's going to spot you. Also keep some wet wipes. We all know what that's for. They're there. Go over the outside setup. So if you see here, I'm going to get a new lid, but I got this coffee cup for Christmas. I was pretty stoked to have a camo one because I love having that coffee first thing in the morning, but I didn't have the opportunity really to bring one with me that I really liked. So now I've got the opportunity to bring coffee with me and sit there and listen for birds gobble first thing in the morning. We'll go over the left side here. So I try to keep everything organized by type of call. So obviously here I have my slate calls. I keep two just based on what the turkeys might be answering that day. My main go-to diaphragm call, which is what I use 90% of the time, I keep in this little pocket on the outside so that it's right there ready to go and I don't have to go hunting for it. Right here you have some pockets for some other things. Only thing I keep in here is 3 different strikers for the 3 different sounds that I might want to be making on these pot calls, and it's on the same side that I keep the pot calls. Now in this larger pocket here, I do keep, again, like I said, I try to keep it organized by type of calls. One thing I do keep is this face mask. I went to this one because it doesn't have a hood to it. Any of these face masks like this I really enjoy because of the amount of mouth call I use, and it doesn't interfere with me making that sound or having that lip movement. But this one has a strap on it so that I can tighten it up around my face and then pull it down around my neck. It gives me less chance of losing it, plus it takes 2 seconds for me to pull it up versus having to find it, take my hat off, put it on, and get set up. Also in here, you've got room for shotgun shells. I don't keep very many in there, and I keep lots of mouth calls. Again, I've been in situations where you don't have your mouth call, and I feel less confident not having some sort of diaphragm call with me. So I keep multiple sets of diaphragm calls. Also in here, this is kind of old school. I keep chalk for my box call, and as you see what fell out there, some sandpaper. For some reason, I need to sand my glass call or my slate calls I can. That's just something extra I keep in there. And this is an old school film canister that are pretty much obsolete anymore. And also keep some chapstick and a box call silencer. Somewhat for me, but a lot of times you're hunting with a buddy and he's walking, and every walk you get that chirp and it gets on my nerves, and I say, hey, throw that on there. So that's the left big pocket. And again, I try to keep it organized throughout the season, but we all know as we go through the season, stuff starts getting thrown everywhere in your vest and in the truck. This is my setup from the beginning. Right here, I keep my box call. Again, I don't use a box call a ton, but it's nice to have in case you need to cut through the sound, or if it's one of those things that's what the turkey's answering. Plus, I can make a little gobble with this strap up underneath. But again, I don't use it a ton. Now, in this vest, it automatically has a piece in here that splits your paddle from the rest of the box, which should keep it quiet. This part I don't love about this vest, mainly because it can take chalk off of it and lose sound, so you kind of got to reapply a lot. On the top part here, I just keep some trimmers. As I was talking about earlier, you get that stick up against your leg that's just annoying you. You can at least take that, snip it off real quick, or if you don't have any foreground, take some around you and build you a little bit of foreground in front of you to disguise some of that movement. And then again, based off of organization on what I'm wearing or what side and what pocket I have, this is where all my locator calls are. I keep an owl call with me, kind of a go-to first thing in the morning if I'm not hearing turkeys gobble naturally. I'm not great at it with my voice, so I just stick to the owl call. Also have a crow call. Made this one myself, so that's pretty neat. I like taking things into the woods with me that kind of have some sentimental value. That's what I'm out here for, is the good time. Killing turkeys a bonus. Use a crow call rather sparingly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I have it, and it makes a little raspier, sharper sound than that regular crow to get those turkeys to sound off. And then something I'm trying this year, a friend of mine had it last year. I really enjoyed using that because it was, a midday call or later in the morning, and that's the pileated woodpecker call. I've always called it a pickle belly woodpecker because I never could remember the name, but this call right here is phenomenal for striking birds midday without giving away your position, be able to close on them and make those setups. So that's my general setup in my vest. A lot of times I'll take my phone and throw it in this vest as well, usually in this big pocket here, because I normally have my cell phone in my back pocket and I don't like sitting on it all the time. So yeah, that's the Alps Grand Slam. Really have enjoyed it. This is gonna be my second year hunting with it, and I feel real comfortable and real confident taking it into the woods with me and having everything I need on my body. Another thing I'll take with me, every now and then, it really is situational dependence. I'm kind of 50-50 on using decoys, but this is just a loose decoy bag, very lightweight. I've got a strutter in here as well as my hen decoy, and it has shoulder straps. The reason I like this so much is because the bags that normally come with them are solid black, and they're usually just a one strap over the shoulder, and you've already got a gun on one shoulder and you got this choking you the other way. So this is something that I'm able to throw on like a backpack, and it's super lightweight. It doesn't pretty much weigh any more than the decoys do. And then also, if it's a quick setup and I'm not going to be using these decoys, or for whatever reason I don't feel like the decoys are appropriate for this setup, I can take these, throw them back here, and because of the lack of shine, that kind of drab green color that it's got, I don't feel like I really need to brush that in a lot. I can just throw it there and I'm good to go. That's my setup. If you guys have any questions, leave any comments and I'll try to get back to you.